Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you live tonight from Williamston. This is MHSAA Varsity Football live on Lansing TV 12. I'm Glenn Dudasek, and we are out of Hazlitt, and we welcome one and all for a great matchup, an opening season matchup here, at least for us, for the Williamston community. We're going to be here all season long. This is our first game with them. We have Williamston versus Hastings coming up in just a matter of moments. This is such a great visual. We jumped on early. We've got the young ones out there. We've got the band. This is going to be a special couple of moments, so we didn't want to miss it. The game will be coming up here probably about right at the top of the hour, so probably about 6-7 minutes, but we're going to let you sit back and listen into the sounds of the stadium. Actually, we're going to bring it back for just a quick moment. I do want to thank our community sponsor for the evening and for the season, the Studio Shop located in downtown Williamston, featuring hundreds of Michigan gifts and custom apparel. Stop in. They proudly support Williamston athletics. Your Hornets are in the tunnel. Here we go.
Between the Saxons of Hastings and your Williamston Hornets. And now, here come the Hornets.
Steve Kirsten here, a special night for him. They are celebrating his Hall of Fame induction. And I have to think back because I started here in mid-Michigan 25 years ago as well in Williamston for the Williamston Enterprise as a beat reporter. And I was there for those first Coach Kirsten games. So it's kind of cool to come all the way back and be a part of such a special night. With the train behind us giving us some extra love. I'm going to shoot you over to the neon up there. Check out that student section. They should be easy to see on the camera. Well represented. When we pulled in, there was nary a parking spot to be seen. The entire town feels like it's here tonight, and we're glad that you guys are. Whether you're watching live or on the archive, we welcome one and all. I do believe we'll have our national anthem here in just a matter of moments for those jumping in and looking for the game. We're getting ready. We're in our pregame set, so just a couple of moments, we'll be back.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason hometown realtors.
I've got you guys muted out because the freight train is literally about 100 feet behind us rolling through. We're going to try to bring you back in here. They're getting ready for the national anthem. Always a special ceremony here in Williamston. Guys, we're going to mute you. All right, folks, we want to thank behalf of myself and those of us here at the Lansing Herald. We want to welcome any active servicemen and women who might be joining us tonight. Welcome home, guys. To the veterans out there, we know not what you've given for us, but we do thank you for your sacrifices. And to the families who support them both, we stand proudly with you. Your game coming up in just a matter of moments. We're going to send you over to Colton and Tom. Coming up now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Williamston, Michigan. It is a gorgeous night for football. Week 2 of the Michigan high school football season about to get underway. The Hastings Saxons are in town taking on your Williamston Hornets. I'm Colton Wesley here with Tom Lewandowski. And Tom, this is a Williamston team, 6-4 a season ago, 8th straight playoff appearance, but they felt like they could have done more. They felt like they were underachieving last season, and then they come off this season-opening loss to Lansing Catholic last week. If you're Steve Kirsten, Hall of Fame night for him, being inducted into the MHS FCA Hall of Fame. What are you telling your guys? How are you getting them ready for this game? Week 2 of a tough schedule.
Yeah, and as you just mentioned, this will be a tough game. The Hastings Saxons went 8-3 last season. Their loss coming to Portland in the second round of the playoffs. That's a tough team to draw. But you're right. Williamston does feel like they underachieved last year. They got a really tough draw in the first round of the playoffs against Notre Dame Prep. That is a tough squad. If I remember right, Notre Dame Prep went 8-1 last season, and Williamston had to play them first round. That's a really tough draw for them. So Williamston's going to come out here coming strong, and Coach Kirsten's got to tell them to keep a level head, bounce back after that close Lansing Catholic game, and since you have the ball first, go in, punch Hastings in the face, and go do something with it.
Ball is in the air, and we're underway. Williams moving right to left across your screen. Ball picked up off the ground at the 30. Got a lane over the 35 down to the 37-yard line on the return. Kirsten on the return. And Williamson will start at their own 33-yard line. A lot of guys on this Williamson offense that needed to be replaced from a year ago. Quarterback Zach Cribbs, gone. Leading rusher Noah Dunkel, gone. Leading receiver Max McCune, gone. We saw last week against Lansing Catholic, however, they've got a guy here in Caleb Nielsen who they can trust. Nielsen out of the pistol, takes the snap, fakes the give, quick throw left side over the 40 down to the 43-yard line. That'll be 10 yards and a first down. Hunter Van Sickler on the reception. Van Sickler led the team in receiving yards a week ago with 136 and a touchdown in that loss to Lansing Catholic. The offense, not the issue in that game. 356 passing yards for the lefty.
Dang, that's impressive, especially knowing how Coach Kirsten likes to run an offense. That's really impressive that they went that heavy into the pass game.
We'll talk more about this personnel group in just a moment. Tommy Pratt, returning receiver, from a year ago, motions right to left, the snap, and we got a whistle and a flag, and I believe it's going to be procedure on Williamston. False start on the Hornets. That will back them up. It'll be 1st and 15 at their own 38-yard line. But Thomas Pratt, 17 catches, almost 400 yards, 4 touchdowns a season ago, wasn't the featured target, though, for the Hornets last week. They've got 4 guys that they feel like can catch the ball and move in space. This is a very stacked receiver group.
Well, that's only the 4 guys that got a lot of touches last week. You have to remember from last season, there's people like Miles Keener who plays tight end. He had a very impressive game versus Hazlitt last year, and you could expect them to do it again in his junior year.
Nielsen out of the pistol, takes the snap. Give right up the middle. Not a whole lot of room for Joseph Smith. Gets about a yard or 2. That'll bring up 2nd down and 13.
It's a great play there from the Hastings D-line. They did a great job getting great push at their point of contact, pushing the Williamston line about a yard back and swallowing the back at about the line of scrimmage.
$102 yards on the ground for Smith a week ago. Nielsen in the pistol again on 2nd down and 13. Man in motion is Van Sickler. Takes the snap. Kirsten wants single coverage deep down the left side. It's caught down at the 30, down to the 26-yard line. Tommy Pratt. 1st down, Williamston. 36 yards.
That's a heck of a play from the big man there. He's got to be the tallest receiver that they have in that core. He's by far the biggest body that they have out there, excluding the tight ends. and you can see why he was one of the more favorite targets for Zach Cribbs last year because of his just big stature and body. He can go up there and make those good plays.
Two receivers set to the left. They've got Miles Keener, normally the tight end, split out in the slot. Almost lost the handle. Did Nielsen, keeps it himself, and he's able to get back up to the 27-yard line. Loss of 2 on the play. Broken play. Could have been a lot worse. It'll bring up 2nd and 12.
That's a great play there from the Saxons, number 70, Isaac Friedel. That's a great job there from the big man, running with the QB across the line to meet him at the line of scrimmage. He's got to catch up with that fast guy, and it's really not easy to do with that much size.
So they got Peter Jones lined up as a tight end on offense for the Hornets as well. They've got a lot of guys that they feel like they can use. Tommy Pratt, Drew Kirsten, Hunter Van Sickler, your starting receivers. Miles Keener and Peter Jones going to get a lot of work as H-backs and tight ends. You see Jones tight to the right as a tight end, and Keener next to him. Nielsen in the pistol, takes the snap, quick throw, right side, got a man. It's Keener up to about the 22-yard line. Good wrap-up tackle there, I believe, by Mason Tosova. That'll put the ball up to the 23-yard line and bring up 3rd down. Eight and a half to go, first quarter, no score between the Hornets and the Saxons. 3rd and 7, ball on the 22-yard line. Nielsen in the pistol. Showing blitz, takes the snap. Happy feet under pressure, spins out of it, rolling to his left. Looking downfield, dumps it off underneath to Jones inside the 30, down to the 25. Breaks his tackle inside the 15, 5, 10, touchdown. How'd he do that, Joseph Smith? They're going to say he stepped out at the 4.
That's unlucky there for, well, it depends on how you see it. If that's unlucky for Williamston or, really lucky for Williamston with breaking 2 sacks. But, it's tough to step out of bounds on the 4-yard line there.
Joe Smith, the running back in the formation. As soon as the quarterback breaks contain and he starts rolling around, he starts trying to find something, that's when all the receivers break off of their routes. They try to find an open spot in the zone, and that was a good job there by Smith to find the space and then move in for 1st and goal at the 4. Nielsen, the give, bouncing it outside. Smith to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Williamston.
I mean, might as well go back to him. He had a heck of a play the play earlier. Why not give him the rock and let him punch it in? That's a heck of a play there from Joe Smith.
7 plays, 67 yards. Hornets take 4 minutes off the clock and put the first points on the board. Looks like they're lined up to go for 2. Parker Freeze, the quarterback, rolling to his right. Freeze throws to the right side of the end zone, incomplete, looking for Thomas Pratt. Hornets trying to give the Saxons a difficult look.
That's a classic Williamston 2-point play. I remember practicing specifically for that play when I played for Hazlitt. That was a thing that we worked on. I think 3 of the 4 days we practiced that week. We had a dedicated 20-minute block in our practice schedule just for Williamston 2-point plays because they run that weird swing gate type play with the 2 down linemen and everybody else shifted over to the boundary side and then have their best receiver lined up by themselves on the right. That's a classic Steve Kirsten play. He's been running that for years here, and usually it works, but didn't go the Hornets' way that time.
I'd like to thank our community sponsor for today's game, the Studio Shop in downtown Williamston. They have hundreds of unique gifts and are the place to get your custom apparel. Check them out, the Studio Shop in Williamston. Gaudreau has the ball on the tee for the Hornets. Cardell Weinbrenner back deep to return. Williamston wearing the green helmets and the gray uniforms. Hastings, blue helmets, white uniforms. Run up and the kick from Goudreau. High in the air and short. Fielded at the 12. Up over the 20, down the middle, up to the 30-yard line, and brought down there. DeAndre Mathis on the return. And the Saxons will set up shop at their own 30-yard line. So defensively, the Hornets returned their leading tackler from a year ago, Miles Keener, and he's expected to lead this team from his linebacker position once more. But they'll be looking for contributions. Max McCune, leading interception man from a year ago with 3 picks. He's gone. Noah Dunkel, Ollie Brown, also big tackle number guys. They're going to look to see who they can find to replace them. Handoff right side, up over the 30, down to the 34-yard line. Isaiah Wilson on the carry. Mason Tosava, the quarterback.
Yeah, in the pregame, I was watching Hastings' offense. They seem to they're going to try to run this ball pretty much every play. I think if that's the sense I was getting, at least, is that they're really run first, run second, run third down type of people.
Yeah, they're lined up in tight. They got a lot of guys in the backfield. It's a very Navy style, flex bone, 3 backs, nobody set deep kind of offense. Handoff up over the left side, got some room over the 35, lowers the shoulder down to the 39-yard line. That's a gain of 5, right up close to the line to gain. Weinbrenner on the carry, gain of 5. It's going to be tough to tell who the ball carrier is because of how tightly packed that Saxon backfield is.
I really enjoy this offense. Honestly, this is a lot of people like the frilly pass offense of the West Coast style, I just love power run, especially Veer. Veer is my favorite offense to run in football, and the reason is you can't tell who gets the ball. It could be quarterback, one of the 3 deep setbacks, tight end in an orbit motion. It's so great.
Same heavy formation, handoff, met in the backfield. And it's going the other way. They got me up over the 30, down to the 25, 22-yard line. And the ball came out at the end, but they're going to say he was down at the 22-yard line.
I love Veer.
I think everyone in this booth got by the fake there.
I love Veer. Counter works so well in Veer. You can't tell who has it. It is impossible. I thought the quarterback had it for a second because I didn't see 2 of the split backs. But no, I think it was the farthest right fullback to get that ball and just break that away on a counter.
Believe that was Weinbrenner on the carry, and that's the kind of stuff you're going to see out of this offense, right? This is an armed forces game we're watching.
Yeah, this is like Air Force versus like a Boise State type of game.
Same heavy formation. The give, right side, up over the 20, down to the 19-yard line. Gain of about 4. Weinbrenner on the carry once again.
This makes me so happy. Oh, I haven't seen some armed forces stuff in a minute. I mean, you don't really see this from any of the Lansing area teams, even the smaller schools, like the CAAC white teams. You don't even see this out of. This is a throwback, and I am enjoying it.
2nd down and 6. Ball in the red zone for the Saxons. Clock moving. 5.5 to go in the first quarter. And we got a whistle and a flag. Signaling offsides on Williamston. And that'll make it 2nd and 1.
Okay, so we're seeing that offsides play really come up because this is a different defensive formation that we're seeing from Williamston than their base that they'll run throughout the rest of the season. They know that the Saxons here love this power run, Navy-style football, so they stack the box. They're putting more people that usually wouldn't be on the line like those outside linebackers. They're just crushing it, and that's why we're getting the offsides call there.
Fakes the handoff, rolls to his right under heavy pressure. He lost the football. It's going to be fallen on by an offensive lineman. Williamston claiming they have it.
No,
They're running the clock, and they're going to say he was down back at the 19-yard line. They're going to say they got to Mason Tosava. Jameson Nicolopoulos unfooled by the fake, and that's something we were talking about, is you don't know who's got the ball. They've been rolling Tosava out. After the handoff, he always rolls out to the right. You have to have someone spying him, paying attention to him. That time, it was Nicolopoulos who just stayed with him from the backside and made the play, and that'll bring up third down, ball on the 19-yard line. Snap, handoff. Up the middle, inside the 10, inside the 5, touchdown. Once again, they couldn't find him. It's Tyler Fraser into the end zone.
Honestly, if I'm the Hastings coach here, if I'm Jamie Murphy, I see what Williamston did, tried to go for 2. I'd give them a taste of their own medicine, give them power run right up the middle. Williamston hasn't been able to get a hit in the backfield except for the one time Hastings tries to pass it. If they go for a run play, almost a guarantee from 2 yards out that this is going to be a 2-point conversion, at least if the Saxons keep playing like they have.
They will line up to go for 2, 4:22 to go here in the first quarter, tied at 6. The snap. Fakes the give. Tosava throws into the end zone. They got it. They've been setting that up the whole drive. Travis Oliver on the reception. And it's 8-6 Saxons. We're going to take a quick break and come right back. You're watching Williamston football on Lansing TV 12.
Folks, you are watching MHSAA football, varsity football here live on LansingTV12.com. We're the Lansing Herald Media Group, family-owned and independent out of Hazlitt, published since 2016, broadcasting since 2017. Thank you for being a part of today's game.
.422 to go first quarter. Williamston Hornets trailing at home 8-6 to the Hastings Saxons. And you could not have more of a contrast between these two offenses. Williamston, pro-style, 3-receiver set, air-it-out kind of offense led by Caleb Nielsen. The Saxons, for their part, Cardale Weinbrenner, Travis Oliver, Tyler Fraser, they're going to run this ball down your throat. They're going to figure out a way to get the ball down the field using that option wishbone T formation set.
Oh, this is going to be a great game here.
Kick is away. Return from the 7-yard line. Up over the 25-yard line goes Andrew Kirsten. They're going to spot the ball at the 28-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Williamston there. .416 to go first quarter. Williamston 0-1. They lost to Lansing Catholic in a thriller a week ago, 35-28. Now the offense having to keep pace with this Saxons triple option T. Out of the pistol, Nielsen takes the snap, fakes the give, quick throw left side, knocked down. That's a good defensive play there. I believe that was Jet Barnum, got his hand on it.
That was the big man, Jet Barnum. I can't tell if he's playing he's the edge defender there. I don't know if that's the outside linebacker role in this, or if he's a dedicated defensive end. But he appears to be one of the tallest people for the Hastings offense, or defense. And you got to be really careful there. You're throwing to a really athletic player. That's not going to be a good job or a good time there, and that's going to happen every time.
3-receiver set for Nielsen. Barnum, a stand-up pass rusher, 3 down linemen for the Saxons. The snap. Nielsen rolls to his left. Points, wants his man to go down the field. Looking over the top. It is incomplete. That's great coverage out there. Draven Pennick in on the coverage. Parker Freeze, the intended receiver.
Yeah, honestly, that's a great job there from Caleb Nielsen, though. Directing traffic, trying to get people open in spots where he knows that right now Hastings had a perfect coverage on that. So he's trying to direct traffic, get people going. At that point, it's turning into a scramble drill. In the flat route was from the running back got turned into a wheel route, and it almost worked. That was a really good ball, but great coverage.
That's what you used to do with those Madden games in the aughts, where you used to flick the right stick to get your receivers to run places. Setting up the middle screen, complete over the 30 down to the 35-yard line. Andrew Kirsten right up to the line to gain. Let's see where they spot him.
Looks like
he's
it'll
gonna
be a yard short.
Jinx.
Oh, you got me. Yeah, this is going to be a really rough and tumble game here, especially if both teams are going to start trading going for two. Hopefully, Williamston really needs to score here, because with the offense that Hastings runs, the Saxons are going to burn a buttload of clock. They are going to try and chew it out, run nearly every play. Williamston's going to have to try to keep pace. It's going to be difficult.
10 offensive plays for the Hornets, 7 passes, 3 runs. Nielsen in the pistol again, same formation, 3 receiver set. Nielsen fakes the give, throws right side. It is caught up at the 40. That is a tight window there. Thomas Pratt, first down. The coverage was right there. Press coverage, 5-yard hitch. You have to rifle that thing in there, and Pratt just has to take it and feel the bruise tomorrow.
Yeah, Tommy Pratt did a great job, and that's going to be there all night. You get these check down tight ends that we see in the NFL nowadays. You get like people like Trey McBride or a George Kittle type person, where they're always going to be that hot route, that check down receiver. You need someone with sure hands, and Tommy Pratt is that guy for the Williamston offense.
Yeah, and Pratt lines up as a wide receiver too. He's just a tall guy who can get that position on the corner and make the play. Out of the pistol, handoff right side Smith. Smith got a lane over the 45 and hauled down at the 49-yard line. That's a gain of 9 for Smith on his 3rd carry of the ball game. 3 carries, 14 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 1.
You know who Tommy Pratt reminds me of?
Who?
He's a very similar player to Caleb Parrish, if you remember that Mason
Oh,
team.
I do.
Yeah,
Oh, I do.
Caleb Parrish and Tommy Pratt are very similar players, and I think that Tommy Pratt can be just as good, if not a little better, as a receiver than Caleb Parrish, even though Caleb Parrish was a menace in the blocking schemes for Mason's run game.
Parrish, of course, a key part of that Mason squad that went to the state final last year. Williamston fans would rather not hear about it. 2nd and 1. Nielsen uncorks one deep right, and that's to nobody. Intercepted, coming back the other way. Over midfield. 45, brought down at the 43-yard line. I believe that was Draven Pennick on the interception. I don't know what the plan was for Caleb Nielsen there. I don't know if Thomas Pratt kept running when he thought he was going to check into a different route, but in any case, there was no one in that vicinity other than Draven Pennick.
Yeah, that was such an easy play for them, and now we get to see this wishbone type, classic Houston Cougars. If you watch college football, this is a classic Houston Cougars or Marshall offense.
Handoff up the middle, no gain on the play. That was Fraser on the attempt as the clock rolls under 2 minutes here in the first.
Yeah, and as I was saying, this is a classic play that we saw from Bill Yeoman's Houston Cougars back in, the earlier days of college football, not in modern. Well, it was modern times, but Bill Yeoman really modernized and made this Hastings offense into what it is, and they really competed for some national championships there in the days against teams like Oklahoma and Texas. That Houston team was dangerous.
Give up the middle, haul down at the 42-yard line, gain of 1 for Fraser on that one. It'll bring up 3rd down and 9. Williamston doing a good job of standing in here, trying to make up for the turnover. Third down and 9. Saxon started this drive on the Williamston 43. They've advanced 1 yard. Big opportunity for the Hornets to get off the field. Saxon's in that wishbone tee once more. Handoff up the middle. No, he kept it himself, over the 40 onto the 39-yard line. Gain of 3 for Tosava. Unfortunately for Williamston, Miles Keener was not fooled.
Yeah, and, this is going to be a really hard offense for Tosava to dictate all the way through.
It's going to be a hard offense for me to keep track of who has the ball.
Exactly, but that's all due to Tosava's work. Tosava being the quarterback is pure on the read option, since this offense is all triple option. He's got his first read, which will probably be an interior lineman, which will be the dive handoff. If that guy sticks down for the dive, Tosova can pull it, and then he'll have a pitch option. It'll be a great time.
End of one here in Williamston. 8-6 Saxons. Big fourth down coming up. We'll toss it over to the truck. Glenn's got a message for you. You're watching Williamston football on Lansing TV 12.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason hometown realtors.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
Welcome back to Williamston. 8-6 Hastings in front. Saxons trying to go to 2-0. They've been pestering Williamston with this wishbone T offense. And now they're lined up to go for it on 4th and 6 at 39. Tosova up under center. Takes a step. He's going to throw. Looking deep. Single coverage left side. It is picked off coming the other way. Ball picked off at the 20-yard line. And he's got blockers up over the 40. Tommy Pratt cutting it back across the field to the 45. Makes a man miss at midfield. And he's down to the 48-yard line. Big stop for the Hornets.
That is how you turn it around. You know Coach Kirsten loves that. They had the miscue with their own interception the drive earlier. That is how you turn around. Force a fourth down in long. Make this offense pass. It was 9 guys in the blocking formation. They had everyone block except for the quarterback in the one-on-one receiver matchup that they thought they had. It did not work. Williamston showed that they can play defense and hold this Veer team, and they did it. They got that huge pick from Tommy Pratt, turning this offense around, turning it back to the offense. Sorry.
That is only the second pass attempt of the game so far for the Saxons, both on play action. The first one was a 2-point conversion that worked. That one, a fourth down conversion that did not. And the Hornets have the ball in Saxon territory at the 48-yard line, 1st and 10. 3 receivers set for Nielsen in the shotgun this time. Takes the snap. Pressure comes immediately, has to roll left, and down he goes. Jeff Barnum takes him down back at the 41-yard line, loss of 7.
That is a heck of a play there from Barnum. You know, he is that outside linebacker role. Now that I've been able to watch this Hastings defense, you see that's a 3-4 defense. He's, you know, this Micah Parsons type player, lines up on the edge. He's coming almost every time. It's not like he's he does drop back into coverage, but he's coming almost every time, and he's getting a ton of pressure on this Williamston offensive line. I'm a little surprised that Kirsten hasn't had a wing back or a running back start going to him on pass coverage, because he's clearly been a trouble for the edge protectors here in Williamston.
11 minutes to go in the second. 2nd and 21 for Nielsen in the pistol. Takes the snap. Nielsen, dart, left side. Got a man up to the 44-yard line, 46-yard line. With his knee in the dirt, Tommy Pratt makes the catch, and that'll get that yardage back, +1. Call it a gain of 12 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 9.
Sure hands. As I was saying earlier, Tommy Pratt has sure hands. You can throw him 50-50 contested balls, and as long as he can get to his hands, he can probably come down with it.
Hornets think they can win that matchup on the outside. Anthony Heinrichs, Bruce Benzler, Kenny Kilgren, Vinny Heinrichs, and Johnny Eifert, the starting 5 on the offensive line for the Hornets tonight. Here early second quarter, 3rd and 9. Give left side. Smith over the 45, got some room. 40, 35, down the sideline. 30, 1 man to beat. 20, 10, and he's knocked out of bounds inside the 10-yard line at the 9. Gain of 38 and a first down.
Wow, he is having himself a game. I'm pretty sure that was Joseph Smith again, the guy who had that giant pass catch on the scoring drive and then punched it in himself. It looks like he'll probably try to go do it again.
They try to get the ball into him quickly, but there's a whistle and a flag. Gain of 36 for Smith.
Looks like the flag will be on Williamston. I don't know what for, but the ref that threw it pointed to the Williamston side. Oh, excuse me. That's going to be on Hastings. I think it's offsides is what I saw. Sorry.
Illegal substitution on Hastings. That'll make it 1st and 5 at the 6. Williamston can score or can get a first down without scoring. $10:02 to go, second quarter. Hornets knocking on the door, trying to take this lead back.
I'm watching Joseph Smith here from the Saxons. He's been all over the place this game.
3 receiver set. The give left side. Smith inside the 5 down to the goal line, and he is in. Touchdown Hornets. His second of the game. Joe Smith just follows his blockers around the left side. Simple concept, nothing too fancy, just patient running, and when the lane opens up, he finds the corner.
Yeah, it's a great job there. And, he did that that was almost the same exact play that they scored on last time, too. It was the running back counter, and, it just works. It really just works, and you can see that because it's been free yardage for the Hornets.
Halfback counter basically hasn't changed since it was implemented in, the 60s. Simple play that works well. 2-point conversion. Rolling right, freeze, and he's under immediate pressure, and down he goes. They bring in Parker Freeze for these 2-point conversions. So far, the Hornets 0 for 2. They lead 12-6. You're watching Williamston Football on Lansing TV 12. Football families, is there anything better in life than a good burger and a Sudsy root beer? Old Nation in Williamston has the very best burgers made with local beef from Weberville. With a variety of toppings, you can pair your Old Nation burger with a homemade Old Nation root beer. Old Nation has more than just burgers. They have daily specials, a kids menu, and originals such as beef pasties and poutine. Old Nation proudly supports local students and schools year after year. Stop into Old Nation for the best food around. The heat of the summer is still here. Not for much longer. It's like 65 degrees outside. A Cannonball Pools knows that there's nothing better than a hot day in a cool pool. Get your late season supplies replenished at their in-store location in Okemos on Grand River. If you're thinking ahead about closing down your pool, it's not too late to get the right help from the experts. Affordable, helpful, and friendly. Call Cannonball Pools 517-256-4374 to work with the people who can help you get what you need. Learn more about their full support services by stopping in at their store or finding them on Facebook by searching for Cannonball Pools. It is pool teardown season, that is for sure. September has decided to show up tonight. High temperatures in the upper 60s in mid-Michigan. Perfect weather for football.
Great weather.
Run up and the kick from Goudreau. Be fielded inside the 5. Return over the 20. Down to the 25 before he gets hit and dropped there. Mathis on the return.
I can't wait to watch this Hastings offense more. You don't see this veer flexbone offense anymore, or wishbone offense anymore. And it's really sad. It's really sad that you don't see this at the next level. This should be run in the NFL.
Oh, my gosh.
The Baltimore Ravens should run this, and it would work.
Honest to goodness, if the Ravens ran this, I'd be terrified. 9:51 to go second quarter. Same formation with Tosova up under center. Tosova takes the snap. Give. Around the right side. Lots of room now over the 30 down to the 35-yard line. It's a good run for Isaiah Wilson. And a first down for the Saxons.
Oh, it just makes me so happy.
They're going to spot him just short of the line to gain, gain of 9. Continue, Tom.
This makes me so happy. It's such a throwback because Isaiah Wilson, the guy that ran the ball, these pads are huge. It's like we're going to a throwback game. He just lowers his shoulder, runs through all of the tacklers unless you can square him up chest to chest. If you don't get 100% of your body on him, he's just going to run through you. And that is how football should be played. Hard-nosed and gritty.
Tyler Fraser checking out for the Saxons. Give around the right side. Stood up in the hole, but a first down nonetheless up to the 38-yard line. Wilson on the carry, gain of 3. And that'll bring up first down. Clock moving now under 9 minutes here in this first half. Pleasure to be here with you on the second day of the first full weekend of football Last night, JV football, we were at DeWitt Mason. Thursday night football, NFL kicked off. Tonight, the high schoolers have it. Later on tonight in Sao Paulo, Packers-Eagles. It's going to be a great weekend. Handoff over the left side, down to the 38-yard line, spun down to the 39-yard line. Call it a gain of 2 for DeAndre Mathis, I believe. Excuse me. Yes, I believe that was Mathis on the carry. 2nd and 8. Coming up on 8 minutes to go. Second quarter, Saxons down 12-8 to their hosts here in Williamston. Saxons in no hurry to get up to the line. One of the benefits of being a run-heavy offense is you can dictate terms with time of possession. Tosova, the snap, the give, tries to bounce it out over the left side, breaks a tackle over the 40 to the 45-yard line. It is Weinbrenner on the carry. Gain of 8.
Who can't love this? It's cool weather out. Trees are starting to turn colors. We're seeing flex bone, run power offense. Who can hate football here?
This is some NCAA 14 kind of football, and I'm definitely here for it. Handoff left side. First down. Down to the 49-yard line. That'll move the chains. Gain of 4. That was Weinbrenner on the carry once again.
I mean, yeah, there's 7 minutes left in this game, or 7 minutes left in the half. Sorry. This will be, really rough and tough on the offensive line for Hastings. And we're going to have to watch this coming through. I'm starting to see some of the linemen getting up a little slower. This will be something to watch throughout the rest of the game.
Up under center, Tosova takes the snap. Handoff, brought down at midfield, is Weinbrenner, gain of a yard. Do you need customized apparel? Red Cedar Transfers specializes in both custom apparel and transfers. They understand the importance of community and collaboration and are a place where you can explore a diverse selection of apparel designs that are both trendy and timeless. Whether you're looking for a statement piece or a classic staple, they have something for everyone. Committed to making the custom order process simple and convenient for everyone, the goal at Red Cedar Transfers is to exceed your expectations and deliver products that you'll love. Learn more at redcedartransfers.com. Handoff around the left side, up over the 45 to the 44-yard line goes Weinbrenner. Gain of 6 on the play. He's got 67 yards on 8 carries so far, including that big 37-yard carry earlier that set up the touchdown. 3rd and 1, ball on the 42. A lot of options in short yardage situations for the Saxons. Tosova takes the snap, handoff left side. Weinbrenner again, first down over the 40 down to the 37-yard line. That's a gain of 4. Saxon's starting to lean more on Cardale Weinbrenner here in this second quarter. And that's the kind of thing that's going to lull to sleep a defensive front seven that isn't paying attention. They expect 26 to be the guy with the football until all of a sudden you see Travis Oliver, Tyler Frazier, Isaiah Wilson running around the other side with the football.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a little surprised that we haven't seen a little bit of motion from the wide receivers, specifically Jet Barnum. I would have thought that they would have put him, maybe put him in an orbit motion, try to see a pitch option out of it. But, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Handoff, Weinbrenner gets tripped up at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for maybe a yard. And another thing they got to keep an eye on is Mason Tosova, right? Because what's happening is Tosova, he'll give the ball off the left side. They'll bring Weinbrenner. Usually he's lined up on the right side of that formation. They'll bring him around to the left. Tosova, kind of a big sweeping motion for the handoff, and then he rolls out the other way. If the safeties aren't paying attention, Tosova's going to have nothing but room a la Steve Bono to take it all the way to the house.
That's who it was. I was trying to think of who that quarterback was. Thank you.
The Steve Bono run is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. 2nd and 10. Tosova. And we got motion and a whistle, and it's going to be offside on Jamison Nicolopoulos for the Hornets.
That's a great job from Nicolopoulos. He knows that he jumped. He took responsibility on it. He'll bounce back to next play. Williamston really likes having those big leaders on the outside edge. If you can remember, a couple years ago, they had a guy named Joey Mahaney who currently plays for Hope. He was that guy that I think Nicolopoulos is turning into. So it's good to see Williamston having that great athletic leadership role out of an outside linebacker.
2nd and 5. Under pressure, Tosso fakes the give, rolls to his right, got a man underneath. It is caught, I believe, at the 28-yard line. Gain of a couple on the play. Jeff Barnum, his first catch of the game.
Barnum was the one receiver that was targeted on the interception that they had that Tommy Pratt got. They think that's going to be a matchup that we're going to see all day. Tommy Pratt versus Barnum, because those are the two guys that are they're built the exact same way. Let's be honest.
They're both big, tall guys.
Giant guys,
athleticism.
exactly. So that's going to be the matchup that we're going to see all night is Barnum and Pratt going punch for punch. And, so far, Pratt looks like he's got the better in this engagement, but you can't count Barnum out.
3.5 to go second quarter. Tosova up under center. Snap, give, room, and he slipped. Cardale Weinbrenner slipped as he crossed the 30. He thought he had a first down, and I wasn't going to tell him no. He was at the 29-yard line, but he lost his footing with his left foot, and that's a break for Williamston. They'll bring up 4th down for the Saxons.
See, that's the thing with Williamston's field. Williamston and Mason, so since I played for Hazlitt in the CAAC Red, the whole thing that we worked on when we came to these two places, at Williamston and at Mason, was how to run on torn-up grass fields. Williamston's field gets chewed up so easily, and I don't know why. It's a beautiful field. It just gets chewed up.
4th and 3. Tosova trying to get him to jump. Clock moving under 3 minutes. Everyone in tight. Takes the snap, the give. Weinbrenner up the middle, and he's going to be real close. Williamston cheering, and they did get the stop, it looks like.
Wait for the point. Wait for the point.
They will be short. First down, Williamston.
Heck of a job there from the Hornets front. I guess in this case, the front 8, since they're rolling half the team into the box because of the power run. That's a heck of a job from the big guys there in Willie, holding their ground, not getting deceived by the veer, and just bringing down Weinbrenner when he's been such a hard runner so far in this game.
2:40 to go in the second quarter. The Hornets get the crucial stop, and now they've got an opportunity to go up 2 scores before the break. Remember, they received the opening kickoff. 3-receiver set. Nielsen gives. Smith has blocks. Cuts it outside. It's a really nice cut over the 35-yard line. That's where he'll be brought down after a gain of about 8. That's a really nice, intelligent run from Joe Smith. He's very patient. He lets his blocks develop and then takes whatever crease is there. He's not trying to burn you with speed. He's trying to find his lane and make a good decision. That's a smart run.
Yeah, it's a really good run. And, he's been a heads-up, even route running as the running back. He's been really heads-up. High football IQ. You can see that everywhere on the field when he's playing. It's a really good job from him.
He's gotten the ball more than anybody else in this Hornets offense tonight. 2 minutes to go and counting out of the pistol again. The give. Smith, this time nowhere to go. He's swarmed back at the 33-yard line, loss of a yard. That's his first negative play of the game. Caden Ogden leading the way for the Saxons defense. 1:40 and counting to go here for the Hornets.
Yeah, this is going to be a classic 2-minute drill. They have 3 total timeouts. I don't know how they're going to use them or if they're going to use them.
Well, Williamston knows they can get big chunk plays if they need to, so they're not super worried about the clock, I don't think, with all 3 timeouts. Setting up a screen left side. Got a man. Smith. Lots of room. Over the 40. Slips a tackle. 45. Midfield. All the way down to the 45 and out of bounds. Gain of 22 for Smith. That'll be first down for Williamston, and that was the play that determined what they were going to want to do on this drive. They were okay with letting the clock run. If that play does not work, if that play does not go for a first down, the clock's probably going to keep running. Maybe they force a timeout out of the Saxons. They're not worried about the clock in that situation. But here, now they got the first down. They got out of bounds. They have 3 timeouts and 71 seconds to go 47 yards.
Well, going back to that, that's the play that got them a share of the CAAC title in 2022. That play broke for, I think, a 65-yard touchdown versus Hazlitt.
Quick throw left side under heavy pressure, incomplete. Tommy Pratt technically in the area, but he got hit hard. I believe that was Deegan Wilkins, I believe. Might have been Ogden Twists getting in there and putting the pressure on for the Saxons. 2nd and 10, ball at the 47-yard line. Hornets went with a 4-receiver set that time, trips to the right. We've seen this out of Williamston the past few years, even going back to when Joey Mahaney was quarterbacking. They love to open it up. They love to at least show 4, even 5-receiver sets sometimes.
Yeah, they really do. It's a classic. So, but last year's team, if you go specifically back to last year's team, they really relied on Noah Dunkel getting a ton of the touches. I think Joe Smith's really turning into that type of player.
Out of the pistol, deep throw, right side, single coverage, wants him over the top, incomplete. Wanted Hunter Van Sickler. Van Sickler had a step. Ball was just a little bit too deep. It'll bring up 3rd and 10 at the 47.
Going back to that point, I think this is a very different offense than what was run last year. But I think that's just because it graduated so many people. This is a completely different team, size and personnel-wise. So this is an older style of a Steve Kirsten offense that he ran compared to the last 2 years. It was much more power run. Let your athletes do stuff with the ball. Don't put it in the air. Be safe with it. This is much more aired out West Coast. And
you want to know how you become a Hall of Fame coach? You work with the guys you have to create an offense that works for them, just like Steve Kirsten's doing here. 3-receiver set for Williamston. Quick throw right side, and that just missed. Was looking for Hunter Van Sickler on a little bubble screen, and he just missed him, and that'll bring up 4th down and 10. Now decision time for the Hornets. I think they're going to bring out the punt unit because they do not want to give the Saxons a short field.
I mean, that's just an unlucky play there. Or, well, not unlucky play, but that's a great defensive play call from the Saxons. They had a man perfectly on Joe Smith there, destroyed the running back screen that was supposed to be there. Couldn't throw that, so that's a great job from Nielsen to throw it to the other option he had in the bubble screen. It didn't work out, but at least he didn't make a not great decision trying to throw it to the running back.
Punt is away from Freeze, end over end. It'll be fielded at the 10, coming back the other way. Met and dropped after a 1-yard return at the 11-yard line.
Weinbrenner, it's a great job from him. Got really elusive, juked one or two Willie players out, but just couldn't make the final cut to get rid of the third and try to make a bigger play. 48 seconds left. There's 48 seconds left in the half, and 3 timeouts for both teams. So, if Willie gets a couple of stops here, they might be able to force something that we haven't seen from the Saxons all game, except for the opening kick and their touchdown kick, because they didn't even go for the extra point. We might have to see a punt from the Saxons if Willie can get their stops.
Handoff left side. Up to about the 14-yard line goes Weinbrenner, but I think that the Hornets are just going to let this clock run. I think everyone's happy to watch this clock fade to halftime. Keener in on the tackle. Clock moving under 30 seconds. Are you looking for the best birthday ever? Look no further than Launch Trampoline Park. Located in the Meridian Mall in Okemos, Launch Trampoline Park offers a variety of no-stress, off-the-wall fun party packages to meet your party needs. All packages include jump time, private rooms, food and drink, party utensils, and your very own private party host. Have that party that'll keep people talking and create that lasting memory of a lifetime for your child. Book online with their easy-to-use online reservation system, launchlansing.com, or call 517-381-7812. Launch Trampoline Park. They provide the food, the fun, and handle all the cleanup while you get all the credit for hosting the best birthday ever. The clock has hit 0. It is halftime after a 6-yard run by Cardale Weinbrenner. 12-8. Hornets lead the Saxons. It's been fun. We'll send it off to the Lansing Herald halftime. You're watching Williamston football on Lansing TV 12.
Hey, folks, we are the Lansing Herald Media Group. Great game so far. This has been one of the better games we've seen early in this season. Not surprising. It is a fantastic and beautiful night here for football. We've got 15 minutes on the clock. I'm going to let you guys watch the band. I do have to send it over to a halftime. Our Robert Dowding group at Keller Williams Realty halftime show. But we've got some time here, so I'm going to try to let you guys listen in to the Williamston Marching Band. We'll stay with the Williamston Marching Band here for just a little bit longer, and then we're going to send you over to our halftime messages. Robert Dowding Group, Keller Williams Realty, halftime show. All right, folks, I'm going to send you over to the studio messages again one more time. The Williamston Hornets Marching Band. Thank you to one and all. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. This is the Robert Dowding Group of Keller Williams Realty halftime show.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason hometown realtors.
The celebration of school sports continues, and the football playoffs hit the golden anniversary. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. Last week, we let you know that this is the MHSAA's 100th year, and how you can follow along as we celebrate school sports. One of those ways is social media posts highlighting MHSAA records, such as on September 2nd, 2010, Luke Wilcox of Portland St. Patrick returned an interception against Bath 100 yards for a touchdown. That's tied for the longest in MHSAA history. But this is also the 50th anniversary of the MHSAA football playoffs. The very first MHSAA football champions were crowned in 1975. It was Livonia Franklin in Class A, Dearborn Divine Child in Class B, Ishpeming in Class C, and Crystal Falls Forest Park in Class D. The Class A and D finals were played at Waldo Stadium in Kalamazoo, with Class B and C finals at Perry Short Stadium in Mount Pleasant. And only 4 teams in each class qualified for that postseason. In 1976, the finals moved to the Pontiac Silverdome, and they were played there until 2004. In 1977, the number of qualifiers doubled to 8, and then grew to 16 for each class in 1985. In 1990, the number of classes doubled from 4 to 8. And the final expansion for 11-player football came in 1999, when the number of qualifiers per class grew to 32. We'll have more on the 50th anniversary of the football playoffs later in the show. It's time for Game Balls, when we highlight a trio of standout performances from the past week. Utica Eisenhower senior Bryce Hurley, he scored 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown, and returned a kickoff for a touchdown in a 33-16 win over Oxford. Woodhaven's Preston Scheffler, the freshman making his first start at quarterback, tossed 3 touchdown passes and a 20-0 win over Wyandotte Roosevelt. And to Rockford's Cade Friesen and Logan Haglin, they each returned an interception for a score in a 30-23 win over Cass Tech.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the court. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with registered official Paige Winnie.
In soccer, a kicked ball that inadvertently touches a player's arm is not a handball. If a ball is kicked at someone's face and they instinctively put their hand in front of their face to block the ball, that is also not a handball. There was no intent. Handball or handling is called when the touch with a hand or arm is deliberate. However, if a ball glances off an offensive player's arm and goes into the goal is not allowed. Even if the touching was accidental or inadvertent, it's no goal. If the touching leads to an immediate goal-scoring opportunity, then it's also whistled for handling. As long as the inadvertent touching doesn't lead directly to a goal, it's play on.
Thanks, Paige. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, please go to the MHSAA website now to register. Back with more on the 50th anniversary of the MHSAA football playoffs. 8-player football was added in 2011 and split into 2 divisions in 2017. Farmington Hills Harrison has played in the most title games, 18, and they are tied with Jackson Lumen Christi for the most championships won, 13. Beale City and Crystal Falls Forest Park have each qualified for the postseason more than any other school, with 38 appearances each. Rockford has played in 28 straight playoffs, a record they are looking to extend to 29 this season. And the finals, as they have been since 2005, are at Ford Field in Detroit. Southfield A&T, Muskegon, Forest Hill Central, Harper Woods, Grand Rapids Catholic Central, Kingsley, Jackson, Lumen Christi, and Ubley are your reigning 11-player football state champions. Martin and Adrian Lenawee Christian are the returning champs in 8-player. The 50th MHSAA football postseason kicks off with district play on Friday, November 1st. Check out MHSAA.com for complete coverage all year long. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross. We'll be back next week.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect for all those involved in the game.
Enjoy the game.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason Hometown Realtors.
All right, folks, welcome back. Thank you to the Robert Dowding Group of Keller Williams Realty for their halftime and their sponsorship across mid-Michigan. You know, we cover 32 schools. Hazlitt is home for us. CAC Red is primary. We are excited to televise, right? This was something that I wanted to do, and we were able to do it in bits and pieces through the years. But the MHSAA opened it up to us, and here we are bringing you live sports for free on a Friday night. That makes my heart smile. Williamston, 25 years. We've been walking together. I got some crazy nut jobs literally dancing behind me in the booth here. And we're going to send it over to them and get them back to work. 75 seconds left in your half. Colton and Tom, take it back.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Williamston. It is 12-8. Hornets leading the visiting Saxons at halftime. We've got scores from around the area, and we've got some great scores from around the area. Let's go through them. DeWitt leading Mason 21-14 at the end of the first quarter. A lot of offense in that one, kind of what we expected. Maybe the biggest story of the night. Halftime, Okemos 28, Clio 0. Okemos looking to get their first win in 4 years. Also in action, Portland 12, Olivet 6, Charlotte 6, Lakewood 0, St. John's 14, Hamilton 6, Jackson 14, Waverly 8, Sexton leads Lansing Catholic 13-3. Okemos trailing Ionia 22-0. Fowlerville leads Marshall 21-6. Hudsonville leads East Lansing early 7-0. And of course, last night Eastern knocked off UD Jesuit 15-7. That Eastern team looking really good now 2-0. Some stats from this game for you. We will start with our home team, the Williamston Hornets. Caleb Nielsen 8 for 14, 115 yards passing. His top target has been Tommy Pratt, 3 catches, 53 yards. Joe Smith, 2 catches for 40 yards. On the ground, Smith leading the way, 62 yards and 2 touchdowns on 7 carries. 221 total offensive yards for the Hornets. On the Saxon side, they basically haven't thrown. Mason Tossova 1 for 2 for 2 yards and a pick. Leading runner is Cardell Weinbrenner, 14 carries, 83 yards. Although Tyler Fraser, 3 carries, 20 yards, and Isaiah Wilson, 3 carries, 16 yards, have also contributed. 124 total yards for the Saxons, 122 of them on the ground. We're coming up on the beginning of the second half here, and you had a lot of fun watching that first half. Clash of styles on offense between the Hornets and the Saxons. Let's start with Williamston. It looks like the Hornets have started to sort some things out going up against the Saxons defensively. What do they need to do to maintain that coverage of this Saxon rushing attack?
I don't even so the biggest thing when you're defending a veer style offense, the whole point of the veer offense is that is what you do, that is all you're going to do. You don't deviate from the veer. If you watch the Detroit Lions last year, you'll know what I mean. They did what they did and they didn't go away from it. That is how the veer should be run. So you have to be perfect at the veer. So to beat the veer, and Williamston's actually doing this well because Hastings guys are getting tired out. That's what Willie has to do, is tire out the offense, stay fresher, be more disciplined, and use the advantage that you have of home field, being used to this place, if in your favor. Like, you are the home team, you should use it. You should wear out the away team. Make them have tough times. We started to see that when Weinbrenner tripped on about the 32-yard line on one of the later offensive drives that Hastings had. Williamston's keys for this defensive set will be wear down the offense. The offense's goal is going to be wear down Williamston's defense, but so far Williamston's winning the wear and tear battle, and I don't see that changing.
And a lot of that has to do with execution, right? You talk about how, like, when you run this, wishbone veer offense where you have guys running all over the place and, handoffs going in every possible direction, it's all about execution, right? You need to, every snap, fake your handoff. Every snap, you need to pretend like you have the ball. Every snap, you need to hit your block. Every snap, you need to roll out if you're the quarterback. You have to be precise. Every single thing, every single snap. And I think that started to slip a little bit for the Saxons in the second quarter. That might be part of the reason that the Hornets were able to get those stops. Ball is on the tee. Hornets kicking left to right across your screen in this second half. Saxons back deep to return. The sun is setting. The temperature is cooling off. It's a gorgeous night for football, and the ball is in the air. Another good kick. This one fielded at the 4 by DeAndre Mathis. Mathis over the 20, has a lane up over the 30-yard line, and that's where he'll be brought down. That is where the Saxons will take over. Saxons with a chance to take the lead back here on this drive. As we said, Cardale Weinbrenner, 83 yards on 14 carries in that first half, led the Saxons offense. Got to imagine they're going to try to use a little bit more misdirection in the second half as well. They got a little bit predictable down the stretch.
Yeah, this wasn't really it's in the style of a veer. The formation's definitely veer style, but it felt not nearly as fanciful as a veer should be.
Well, there you go. On the first snap, they're going the other way with it over midfield down to the 45-yard line. That is exactly the kind of thing that you want to see if you're Hastings. You have to get Williamston to respect the other guys on this offense. Tyler Frazier on the carry, picking up 25, his first carry of the second half.
But going back to the point I was saying, it didn't seem nearly as fanciful as a veer usually would be with a lot of read options. It felt more like just designated halfback dive plays, not a lot of read option there or even triple option out of it. It feels much more simplistic than I would expect.
Handoff over the left side, Weinbrenner up to the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 5. And when you see that, right, you see that Frazier, he's going the other way, right? You have to stay home if you're the backside linebacker now. You have to stay home if you're the safety. You can't crash down and try to take Weinbrenner specifically because he's not the only guy getting the football. Gain of 6 there for Weinbrenner. It'll open that up a little bit as this second half progresses if they can continue to feed the ball to these other guys on the offense. Weinbrenner can still be your primary guy, but you've got to find other guys who can contribute. They did a great job there on the first play of the third quarter. Up under center, Tosova takes the snap. Weinbrenner, he handed off up the middle. It's a gain of a couple.
See, I think the halftime break is really giving what the Saxons needed. As I was saying earlier, they look to start to be getting worn out at the end of the half. That halftime break gives them a time to, regain energy, try to chill back out, get back into the sharpness that is needed to run this offense. They need to be sharp and perfect, the fine edge to run this offense correctly. The fakes need to be perfect from Tosova to the other running backs to really send it so that the defense can't read. At the end of the half, the fakes got very sloppy and not very sloppy, but got much more easy to read.
Handoff, left side, Weinbrenner, first down, up to the 33-yard line. That was just power offense. No subtlety or trickery there. Everyone knew who was getting the ball on that snap, but it didn't matter. Hastings won the battle up front. But they have been, to your point, more sharp on this drive already. The fakes have been present. They've been making it more difficult for Williamston to read where the ball's going.
Yeah, and that's definitely what happened on the first. If you remember, the Saxons' first drive too. They did the same thing. It was much sharper. It was exact. They were doing what they wanted when they wanted, and that's how it has to be on this offense if you want to compete.
9:38 to go, third quarter. Saxons running the football well on this drive. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Handoff, left side, Weinbrenner up over the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play. And honestly, you're happy with gains of 4 yards in a cloud of dust. That's the kind of stuff that moves the chains.
I mean, realistically, this team only needs 3 yards because I don't think they know how to punt. Even when it's 4th and 10, I can almost guarantee you this Hastings team will run the rock. Not actually. They'll go to a play-action pass like we've seen. But, they want to run the rock even if it's probably about 4th and 5, I could see them doing a run play.
2nd down and 7, ball on the 29-yard line. Tosova, hands off. No, he doesn't. He keeps it himself, and not fooled is Peter Jones with a big tackle for loss. Tosova, they tried to catch them out, tried to keep the football and swing back around on the play action. Jones stayed home. That's why you have to stay disciplined when you're playing against this kind of option offense. Big stop there for Peter Jones and the Hornets.
I don't know why Coach Jamie Murphy keeps going back to that play, or whoever the offensive caller is for this team. Every time that they have rolled out the ball with Tosova, Williamston has had him manned up every time. They have players dedicated to him. I will not work against this Willie team since they have 5 down linemen. Whoever the edge rusher is looking for Tosova.
Play action. Tossova rolls right. Flag out. Throws. It's picked off coming the other way. Williamston's got it up at the 25-yard line. Picked off by Thomas Pratt. There's a flag down in the backfield that's usually offensive holding. And that the signal coming from the officials pointing over to the Williamston bench asking if they want to wave this off, and they will. Picked off by Tommy Pratt. Two interceptions for the Hornets.
As I was saying again, whoever the outside linebacker was on the Williamston's left, towards the home sideline, whoever the edge defender was towards the home sideline, his job, since Tossova rolled out to him, was to take him, and that bought the holding call because Tossova rolls out of the pocket, the outside linebacker's turning to run with him, and the tackle had his hand still engaged. That's the easiest holding call a referee will ever see.
8:03 to go, third quarter. Handoff, Smith, lots of room, 40, turning on the Jets, trying to split the last two defenders, 50, 40, down to the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 28 yards.
You know what that just was, Colton? That was a taste of Hastings' own medicine. That was triple option from Williamston. That was Williamston doing their version of triple option with an orbit from the slot receiver to act as the pitch option. But they didn't need to use the option. They could just give that inside run key, and look how far it got them. That's a heck of a play call from Steve Kirsten there, doing exactly what the Saxons want against them.
Trying to use that second-level motion. Saxon's going to flow to that guy coming across the formation. He's going to open things up for Smith. That's exactly what happened there. Triple option. They're going to pitch it to him on the outside. No gain on the play for Kirsten. They covered it well, but that is the classic triple option right there you're seeing out of the Hornets right now.
I love triple option. I love triple option almost as much as I love the flex bone veer. It is a terrific thing. And just running in general, because the run plays are all based on the offensive line play. If you get positive yardage out of your run, your offensive line is clicking as a unit. They're doing the job that the big guys are supposed to be doing, getting pressure, pushing guys out of the way. In the purest form of that is the veer offense in triple option.
6:50 to go, third quarter, clock moving. Moving Keener in motion right to left. Three receiver set for Nielsen in the pistol. Takes the snap. Handoff. Around the left side, Smith has some room up to the 30. Stutter steps to the 28-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 7, and that'll bring up third down and 3. Robert Dowden Group at Keller Williams Realty spends a lot of time working in different communities, but the message is always the same. The housing market is hot, complicated, and complex. So what can you do? Work with a real estate professional who is patient, understanding, and dedicated to working with you, not through you. That real estate agent has been Michigan's own Robert Dowding at Keller Williams Realty. If you're buying, selling, or unsure of what to do next, the Robert Dowding Group will take the time to help you achieve your next step. Find them on Facebook at the Robert Dowding Group or call them at 517-853-6390. That's 517-853-6390. Three receiver set for Nielsen in the pistol, motioning Keener to his left. 2 yards to the sticks, the snap. Hand off around the left side. First down over the 20-yard line and out of bounds at the 19.
It's a great play there from Williamston. Again, doing what... Well, not doing exactly what Hastings wants, but it's the same mentality of what Hastings wants. They know what they're going to do with these outside zone run plays compared to the inside zone, but they're not hiding what they're doing. This has been what they've done this whole offensive series. They've changed up the offense from that from that West Coast air raid offense style. This is much more outside zone in run and gun style instead of the West Coast. And I think it's better for Williamston to run this run and gun style instead of West Coast.
We'll come back to that in just a second. 4 receiver set. They're motioning Keener across the formation, and they give it to him on the jet sweep. Keener inside the 10, down inside the 8-yard line, and that's about where they're going to spot him. Gain of close to 10, and they will move the chains.
I think that's a pass. That's not going to go in as a run. I thought that was a pop pass.
Might have been a pop pass to Keener as he swung around the left side. We have a Hornet down on the far sideline, it appears. So we're going to step aside for just a moment.
Hey, folks. So we are in injury timeout. So what happens with that is we do move off camera. MHSAA protocols require us to just we can tell you who the player is down, but we cannot talk through or run ads or anything. The player is up, and I will give this back to Colton and Tom.
So I want to go back to what you were saying about the Williamston offense a moment ago. How what they're doing is working, and the changes that they've made.
Yeah, it's really working. And you can tell that Coach Kirsten is a Hall of Fame level coach because he can change his offenses according to who the defensive opponent that they're playing. And you can see that. They came out in what they thought was going to work on film. They saw that their film study didn't really match up in practice, and they come back to something else.
Triple option pitch, left side, inside the 5, down towards the goal line. He's bumped out of bounds at the 2. They brought in, I believe that was Tommy Pratt. They motioned him in as the far receiver. Excuse me, it was Kirsten, rather. Andrew Kirsten. They motioned him in from the wide receiver spot on the far side into the backfield. They faked the give to the back, and then they ran a standard speed option out to the left, found Kirsten on the pitch. But what they're doing with this outside zone, and when we talk about outside zone, what we mean is it's more of a patient run. It's intended to go outside the tackles. Sometimes you'll pull the guard, but the intent is that the running back will find the hole and then sprint through it, as opposed to a dive play where you're just trying to run right through the gap. And it's working for Williamston right now, trying to hit the outside edge around the tackles. Faking the give. Does give it up the middle. And no room for Smith. We'll bring up 3rd down and goal.
That's a great job there from the Hastings defense, staying sound even though they've been lulled to sleep by these, attempted to be lulled to sleep by these outside run plays. But they stayed home on their inside run, made sure that the gaps weren't open in the A or B gap. Ate that for lunch. That's a heck of a job from the Hastings D linemen and linebacker core.
Loss of 2, 3rd and 5. This is an interesting decision for Williamston, because if you decide that 4th down is off the table, that you'd kick the field goal here instead, you've kind of got to go for the end zone here. You have to run a play that you think you'll score with. But if you know 4th down is on the table, if you're willing to run a play on 4th down, that changes your play call a little bit.
I don't even think it does in this case, knowing the type of opponent.
Williamston calls a timeout. Continue, Tom.
And since it's, but going back to what I got all distracted and flustered. I don't think with who they're playing, it changes the play call at all. Even if it's 4th and about 15, I don't think Williamston should ever kick the ball here, because they know if Hastings scores, they're going for 2. So it doesn't matter if you go up 7. They're going to go for 2. They're going to get 16 if you have 15.
Ideal Mortgage Services LLC wants you to know that it's a seller's market right now, and as a buyer, it's very important to have a mortgage company that's available after hours, on the weekends, and beyond normal banking business hours. Many times offers are due by 8 p.m. on a Saturday, and who will help you then? Ideal Mortgage Services LLC will. Get pre-approved when you need to so you can get the best offer in and on time. To learn more, contact Ideal Mortgage Services LLC, 517-339-5300, or go online at idealmortgage.org. Ideal Mortgage Services LLC is your home for the ideal mortgage. 3 receiver set for Williamston. Nielsen in the pistol. Takes the snap. Quick throw, left side, incomplete. Threw it into the dirt, got hit as he threw. Was trying to get Tommy Pratt on that 5-yard hitch we've seen so many times, but he got hit. The ball went into the dirt. 4th down.
I'm surprised Williamston's going and sending out the kick unit.
Yeah, it looks like Williamston's going to opt for the field goal. Now, here's the thing, though, with the field goal. As you were saying, a touchdown 2-point conversion puts Hastings back in front, but a touchdown and a 2-point stop leaves you up by 1.
You know what they might be doing? I could 100% see a fake field goal here.
Well,
I would be watching for that. This seems exactly the situation you would want to do it in.
22-yard kick from the left hash for Adam Goudreau. Snap good. Spot down. Kick is up. And he missed it. Missed it wide left. No good from 22 for Adam Goudreau. And the Hornets come up empty on that drive.
This is a good job from Hastings defense to force that 4th down. Gives them an opportunity to get back into the game right now. And, with how they run their offense, they burned so much time. It's good that they're getting it into the 3rd quarter, because I would expect them to get Williamston to get the ball back if Hastings can make a successful scoring drive, if it's not off a breakaway. This might burn 6 minutes off the clock here, 7 minutes off the clock.
4:19 to go, third quarter. Same formation as always. Handoff. Weinbrenner up over the 20 down to the 23-yard line. Gain of 3 for the Saxons. It'll bring up 2nd and 7. Here are 5 good reasons for high school sport multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different rules, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. Under 4 minutes to go in the third. Hastings in no hurry. They trail by 4. Snap. Handoff around the right side, giving somebody else the ball now up to the 29-yard line. Isaiah Wilson on the carry. That's going to be a gain of 6.
Dun, 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 dun. We have breaking news from our producer, Glenn Dudasek. We apparently have rain coming down a little bit to the north of us, so that might be something we have to contend with if this game goes longer. But apparently there's reports of rain in Perry, so that might be something into this game.
That update from the Lansing Herald Media Group's chief meteorologist, Glenn Dudasek. 3rd and 1 at the 29-yard line. Handoff right up the middle, first down. And, the ball might have come out. Williamston thinks the ball came out. They're pointing like the ball came out, and the ball did come out. Williamston football.
What a play!
Weinbrenner lost the football, and Williamston gets a huge takeaway at the 32-yard line.
You know what that is? That's overuse. That's what we were talking about earlier in this quarter, and and right before halftime. These Hastings players are starting to get a little sluggish there, Colton. This is going to be not great. They're going to have to find their second wind and start to come back if they want to keep into this game.
2:45 to go in the third quarter for the Hornets. Now with a big opportunity to take a 2-possession lead. 4 receivers set in the pistol. They're going to motion Kirsten across the formation. Handoff, ball's on the ground. The ball's on the ground.
I think that's Hastings. I think that's Hastings.
Oh, no. Fumble on the exchange. Hastings comes away with it.
I don't know if that was on the exchange or because that was the triple option play again. That might have just been that might have been Nielsen trying to pull the ball out, but a miscommunication or maybe the ball slipped. We saw a similar thing happen. Hazlitt versus DeWitt in the Big House, that Week 1 game 2 years ago. Similar thing happened. Hazlitt's quarterback and receiver, same thing. Ball pops on the ground. DeWitt gets that ball.
Handoff around the left side. Trying to turn the corner at the 40 is Weinbrenner. Gain of 5 on the play. Brought down out there. Hunter Rowland in on the tackle.
Joe Smith
Joe Smith in there. Hunter Rowland in there on the follow-up. 2:23 to go. Ball on the 41 after a gain of 6.
Joe Smith's making plays everywhere. You can tell that he's going to be a key person in this team for games like Hazlitt and Mason and CAAC Red Play, maybe even St. John's and Lansing Eastern at this point from what those teams are looking like this far in the season. The Red might be hard and dangerous for a couple teams here this season.
Handoff right side up over the 45. Got room over midfield. Shedding a tackle down to the 46-yard line. That's Isaiah Wilson and a gain of 14. Under 2 minutes to go. They'll spot him up at the 45-yard line. Williamston, 2 chances in Saxon's territory in this third quarter. 0 points.
Weinbrenner just came out of the game. They subbed Weinbrenner out. This might be a different formation. Oh, no. That's a dangerous thing. They can tell their star guys are starting to get tired and, worn out. They still stick with the flex bone, but it's definitely a different personnel group.
Isaiah Wilson and Tyler Frazier both getting some carries in this second half. 1:20 to go. Up under center. Handoff around the left side. Out of bounds at the 37. Big hit out of bounds. That was Draven Pinnock, his first carry of the game, gain of 8. He had the interception in the first half.
Joe Smith with that boom on the sideline that you saw, that is how he plays. He is a hard-nosed runner and tackler at the linebacker and running back position, respectively. He, as I was saying earlier, he will be the key to if Williamston wants a chance at the CAAC Red title this year. Or a deeper run into this playoffs.
Yeah, CAAC Red wide open this year as far as anybody can tell. We don't really know what Mason's made of all the way yet. They're playing DeWitt tonight. 2nd and 2. Handoff up the middle. First down and more, stumbling down to the 30.
I mean, I just want to say something. We were talking about Mason because they've won it either conjunctively or outright the last several years. But then you have teams like Hazlitt who put 42 up against a very strong DeWitt team. And then you have other teams like 2-0 Eastern. As I was saying earlier, St. John's looks very good. And, this could be a weaker year from what some people are saying about the Mason team. So this really could open up CAC Red play.
Final minute of the third quarter. First down at the 30. The snap, the give. Around the left side, he's got blocks. Lowers the shoulder down to the 27-yard line. Tackled out there by Smith. Gain of 3 for Weinbrenner.
Flag on the play. The ref just repositioned it, so I bet it's a holding call.
Holding on the Saxons, and that'll back them up 10 yards. It'll be 1st and 20.
It'll be interesting to see what the Saxons do now that they're really far behind the chains. Whenever we've seen them here in this position earlier in the game, they've gone to the play-action pass, but it really hasn't worked. I would hope that they run into a outside zone type of scheme, or not outside zone, but triple option to a pitch maybe. Try to spread out the defense a little bit and maybe catch something on the edge.
Final 30 seconds of the third quarter. 12-8 Hornets. Toseva takes the snap. Handoff up the middle. Gain of a couple. Believe that was Fraser on the carry, and that will take us to the end of the third quarter. Saxon's getting Mathis, Fraser, Wilson, and Weinbrenner all involved on the ground here in this third quarter. Big opportunity for the Saxons in plus territory as we begin the fourth quarter. You're watching Williamston football on Lansing TV 12. Williamston, wake up on the sunny side with Sunnyside Cafe. Sunnyside Cafe is family-owned and made from scratch kitchen where all your meals are made to order. With breakfast all day, you can stop in and get a favorite such as the Country Carol, a biscuit topped with sausage gravy with a sausage patty, 2 eggs, and cheddar cheese. Or try something special like their cinnamon raisin French toast. Sunnyside Cafe partners with Michigan-made businesses and local farmers to provide local ingredients. Nothing fancy, just good food at the Sunnyside Cafe. Are you trying to find a place to get your custom trim meats, special orders, and the best seafood in town? Mertz Specialty Meats in Okemos invites you to come see what they have to offer. They have steaks, chops, burgers, and brats. And with hard-to-find selections and unmatched customer service, Mertz is ready to serve you. Open 7 days a week just east of the Meridian Mall on Grand River. And with this big football weekend coming up, might be a good idea to head out to Mertz tomorrow. Rain's starting to come down here in Williamston. It's not a heavy rain, a slight drizzle.
Thanks to our chief meteorologist, Glenn Dudasek. It's a great call out on the rain forecast.
Play action pass rolls out to his right and throws it incomplete. Oh, they had him open.
The first curse of the rain, a dropped pass. Oh, my gosh.
Draven Pennick, the intended target, and he's going to wish he had that one back.
Oh, if you remember the Goodrich game that we saw here last year.
I do. That was a great game.
It started to get a little goofy towards the end. As Glenn Dudasek just said here, he thinks this game will start to get goofy. The Williamston student section is getting loud. The stands are getting loud. We might see some trickery out now that the rain's coming down and it's 3rd and long. This is going to be a heck of a game to watch to end this.
Here we go. 3rd and 18. Ball on the 38-yard line. Rain coming down harder. We got a whistle and a timeout called by the Saxons. 11:57 to go here in the fourth quarter. This year, the MHSAA is celebrating a century of sports. Help celebrate 100 years of the MHSAA by visiting them online. See exclusive content about the people, places, and things that make school sports so special. Rivalries, records, and remembering some of the state's top players. Relive it all at MHSAA.com. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of a century of sports. That rain's starting to come down much harder now than it was just a few minutes ago. Mid-season form over here, man. Mid-season form.
Definitely going to be an odd one to finish it. Williamston's play calling is definitely going to change up. I don't know if Goodrich can change up their play calling because it is built for the rain. So this will definitely be an odd one to finish it out.
3rd down and 18. Ball on the 38-yard line. Line to gain is the 20. We got a fun one here. Let's see what Hastings can do at the 38. Same formation as always, except one receiver split out to the right. Gonna give around the right side over the 35, rumbling over the 30 down to the 26-yard line. That's a gain of 12. That's a really nice play for Hastings. It'll 4th down and 6. Weinbrenner on the run.
It gets them within striking distance to that first down marker. It gives them the option to run the rock on 4th down. As I was saying earlier in the broadcast, they will. If I'm Coach Murphy here from Hastings, I would not be afraid to run the ball on this 4th and mid distance. It is close enough where you should expect, if your team is executing the way you want them to, it's definitely close enough that that first down is totally obtainable.
This might be the time to pull out the option pass as well. Give your quarterback the opportunity to make the decision if he wants to throw the ball downfield, depending on the read. But here we go. Same formation, 3 backs in the wishbone T. Fakes the give, throws left. It's caught, turns it upfield. No, he dropped it. He couldn't haul it in. He tried to turn it upfield before he had it in his hands. Incomplete pass. Turnover on downs. Williamston getting the football back.
Didn't like that idea. They've struggled with the pass when it was dry. I mean, I know that it's 4th and a little bit longer than what you would want, but I just don't know how if I was the one coaching, I don't know if I would justify it to myself to run a pass play there when they couldn't do it really when it was dry. I would say stick to your bread and butter. What got you 12 yards the play before, I'd run that same thing again, power run, and try to buy that first down that way.
Hornets with an opportunity now with the football. 11:01 on the clock. 3 receiver set for Nielsen in the pistol. Man in motion is Keener. Nielsen takes the snap. Give to Smith. Great penetration there by the Saxons, but Smith able to bounce it outside and still get a couple. Gain of 3 on the play. Clock will stop at 10:55.
Oh, stats flying everywhere.
Nicolopoulos at the carry, excuse me. Gain of 3.
Wind is definitely picked up here. The flags are very, very straight right now.
The flags are at full force here. Williamston driving into the breeze. They spotted that ball up at the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 for Jamison Nicolopoulos. His first carry of the ball game. 3 receiver set. Keener in motion. The snap. The give. Left side. Up over the 30. Nicolopoulos trying to break a tackle. Does over the 35. Cuts it back inside over the 40. 45 down to the 49-yard line. Gain of 20 for Jamison Nicolopoulos. I don't know why Joe Smith isn't out there, but Nicolopoulos has picked it up and carried that rock for the Williamston offense on the first 2 plays of this drive.
It's very interesting seeing the personnel switching up. I think that that's going to feed into Williamston's advantage. I do think, however, Hastings has more players. I think Williamston's got a deeper roster, though. Even though they have a lesser number of players, I think they have more guys ready to play at that varsity level. This Hastings team does seem like it'll be good in the next coming years. I mean, yeah, it's good now, but you know,
their offense has been their offense has been focused more than the Williamston offense. Fewer guys have been handling the rock directly here in the second half. Handoff over the left side, flag coming in from behind. Smith on the carry, but we got a flag coming in from behind the play. That's usually a holding, and they are already talking to the coaching staff on the Saxon side. Rain continues to fall here. They're going to pace it off 10 yards from the spot, so it'll be 1st and 18 at the 42-yard line for Williamston. And going back to your point, it's not that Hastings lacks good players. It's that they have been focusing their attention offensively on a couple of guys.
Exactly.
They've been trying to feed the ball in to one or two playmakers, whereas Williamston, they've been able to spread the ball around a little bit more.
I think spread the ball much more. Hastings' whole offense has basically been through Weinbrenner the whole dang game.
5 receiver set, trips to the left, snap is in and out of the hands, and Nielsen has to come back and fall on it back at the 28-yard line, loss of 14. Oh my goodness. 5 receiver set. Hornets looked like they were going to try to open it up.
Almost a saving grace there for the Hastings Saxons, getting a huge loss. Well, I guess a huge gain in their books, pushing their defensive field position way farther back in their favor.
They're going to spot this ball at the 30, which might be a generous spot, all things considered. In any case, it's a loss of 12. 9.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Williamston facing 2nd and 30, NFL blitz style. 3 receiver set for Nielsen in the pistol once more. Takes the snap, hands it off. Smith trying to find the edge. Breaks a tackle, gets a yard. Maybe.
I don't watch much Canadian football, but why do I feel this just feels super Canadian football to me right now? I don't know why. Just the vibe of the rain and the floodlights coming on and the styles of offense we're getting. It feels like this would be run by a prime Alouettes team.
3rd and 30. Williamson trying to get from here to downtown. Eight and a half to go in the fourth. 4 receivers and a tight end. Nielsen by himself in the shotgun takes the snap. Rushing 3. Nielsen uncorks one deep. Single coverage. It's incomplete off the left hand of Hunter Van Sickler. That's really good coverage down there.
He almost came down with it. He got one hand on that ball. If it was maybe a 2 or 3 inches closer to Van Sickler, but that's a hard pass to do for a NFL level quarterback. That's a really good ball from Nielsen. But if it was a 2 or 3 inches closer to Sickler, I think he can come down with that one.
Credit to Spencer Wilkins in single coverage down the field. That is not an easy play to make on Hunter Van Sickler, who had a great week last week, but the Saxons have really shut him down this week. 4 targets, just 1 catch. Punt is away. It'll hit the ground at the 40 and stop at the 36-yard line. We're going to take a quick break and come right back. You're watching Williamston football on Lansing TV 12.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason hometown realtors.
8:12 to go here in the fourth. Handoff right side. Getting tripped up in the hole, but staying on his feet over the 45 down to the 48-yard line. That's a gain of 13 for, I believe, Isaiah Wilson, who's been getting a lot more run here in this second half. Wilson had 3 carries in the first half. He's had 5 so far in the second. Rain has lightened up a little bit here. Under 8 to go in the fourth. Hastings with the football trailing 12-8.
Yeah, but the wind stayed just as hard.
Handoff left side, stood up in the hole, loss of a yard.
You are right. The rain has definitely lightened up, but the flag is even more upright than what it was earlier. The good thing for Hastings is they are with the wind. They are being driven by the wind. that makes a huge difference. If you run track and field, you would know that if you're running with the wind, it makes a huge difference on those 100-meter times, which is the most akin to what you can get in a football game.
2nd down and 12, back at the 47, loss of 2 for Weinbrenner on the previous snap. Up under center, give around the right side, sheds a tackle at midfield, tries to cut on a dime at the 45, and he's brought down there after a gain of 9. Isaiah Wilson has been a jolt of life for this Saxons offense here late in the second half. That's his 6th carry of the half, and he's got over 50 yards on those 6 carries.
I mean, everyone knew that Weinbrenner was Hastings' guy. Now that Hastings is diversifying and the Saxons offense is opening up to different players, they're getting back to what they were doing so successfully the first couple of drives to begin both halves, spreading out the options, making the fakes actually fake instead of just giving the ball to Weinbrenner.
Handoff, right side, Wilson to the 42-yard line, gain of a couple. And that will bring up 4th down. 4th and 2, big play coming up here for the Saxons. And that might be something intentional, too, where they intentionally give Weinbrenner the bulk of the carries in the first 2.5, 3 quarters, and then as the game is winding down, they sub in the fresh back and Isaiah Wilson, give him more carries just because the legs are fresher.
Yeah, that's a great scheme if that's how they're doing it.
4th down. 5:40 to go. Everyone in tight. Williamston jumps into the neutral zone, but nobody responds, so no flag. The snap. Give. Left side. Weinbrenner. 1st down and more. Inside the 35. Down to the 30. Grabbed by a shoulder pad and hauled down at the 27-yard line. Gain of 15.
Wow, Weinbrenner can hear the house calling. The phone is ringing for him. He wanted to go all the way. That's a great job by the secondary of Williamston to bring him down from the shoulder pads.
They're going to spot him back at the 28-yard line, call it a gain of 14, and a 1st down for Cardale Weinbrenner. And now Hastings, with 5:20 and counting to go, knocking on the door to try to take the lead. Snap. Give right side. Breaks a tackle over the 25. Still going down to the 22-yard line is Wilson. Gain of 6.
You know who Wilson reminds me of? Classic early 2000s Tampa Bay Bucks legend Mike Alstott.
Kind of runs like him a little bit, yeah.
Exactly like him.
I can see it.
Legs don't stop churning, lowers the shoulder, puts so much effort every time he has that ball.
4:48. Clock still moving. Hastings happy to watch that clock roll. Williamson's starting to get a little nervous. They need a stop. 2nd and 5 at the 23. Handoff left side. Weinbrenner trying to find the edge. Cuts it up to the 21-yard line. Gain of a couple. Looks like they'll spot him up at the 20. Gain of 3. 3rd and 2 coming up.
I thought that was almost an explosive play there for the Saxon offense. If Weinbrenner kept running and trying to find the edge, I think he certainly had it. He had 2 blockers on 1 Williamston defender. It's but at some point, especially for a guy that's so used to inside zone, he's always going to try to look up field and gain yards. I think if he was a little more patient there, that could have been a huge play for the Saxons offense.
Ball on the 20. 3rd and 2. Williamston trying to get off the field. Toss of up under center. Gives to his fullback right up the gut over the 15 for a 1st down.
For the first time in a while, we're hearing the Saxons fans come alive. Williamston's fans, especially their student section, are just as into it, but they've been going all game. The Saxons are really turning it up.
Gain of 6. 3:35 to go. 1st and 10. I believe that was DeAndre Mathis on the previous carry. I don't know for sure. Handoff over the right side, lowering the shoulder down to the 13-yard line. Gain of a couple. That's Wilson on the pickup. 2nd down and 8. Clock moving. 3:10 to go. If you're an offensive specialist for Williamston, you're watching that clock tick down, wondering if you're going to get a shot, wondering if you're going to need a shot.
Well, yeah, really. The temperature's definitely dropped here, but Hastings is heating up on offense. They really got to start contending on the defensive side of the ball.
2:45 left in the football game. Tosova, the snap, gives it up the middle, down to about the 10-yard line. Only a couple on that one. That'll bring up 3rd and 6. And Williamston's going to call their first timeout, as they should. On the road and in a hurry, but don't want the hassle or guilt of fast food. Instead of the drive-thru, get good food fast at Fabiano's Grocery and Deli at the corner of Wacusta and Grand River Roads. Stop in for their pizza slices that are made with fresh dough and sauce every single day. It's a great place to stop in, even for breakfast. They have an amazing breakfast pizza with cheese, eggs, and bacon. For a couple of dollars in a couple of minutes, get yourself the handmade meal you deserve at Fabiano's Grocery and Deli, Grand River and Wacusta in Grand Ledge. Follow Great Lakes Christian College on Lansing TV 12. Showcased on Soccer Saturdays this fall, you'll be able to catch all the NCCAA action from anywhere on any device. Great Lakes Christian College taking on Bluffton tomorrow at 1 p.m. Watch for free on LansingTV12.com. 2.5 to go, 3rd and 6, ball on the 10-yard line. Four down territory for the Saxons, of course. Williamston needs to stand tall. They just took their first time out. Here we go. Tosova up under center. The give, right side. Not a lot of room there for Pennock on the carry, down to about the 6-yard line. They'll spot him at closer to the 7, gain of 3, and now it's 4th down. Here you go.
I mean, this is basically for the game here. 2 minutes 14 on the clock. If Williamston can hold them, they should be able to run this clock out.
Gotta have it if you're Hastings. 4th down and 3. Ball on the 7. Same formation as always. Wishbone T behind Tosova. Takes the snap. The give around the left side. Up to the 5. Breaks the tackle down close to the goal line. Gain of 6 and 1st and goal.
Wow, what a play. Doing what they do best. This is classic Detroit Lions stuff under Dan Campbell. You don't deviate from what you do. You trust in yourselves, run that rock, gain that 1st down, make it 1st and 1 or 2 for the goal.
1 yard to glory for the Saxons, with 1.5 minutes and counting left. Williamston going to need to dig deep here. They've got 2 timeouts left. Saxons happy to take this clock all the way down. Referee standing over by head coach Jamie Murphy. I think he's going to take this clock down to 0 on the play clock and then call timeout, and he will. 1:06 to go. If you're Williamston, man, this is tough. This is tough because you have 2 options here. If you're Williamston, either let them score and give your offense a chance, or make 4 straight stops on the goal line. Neither of those feel like great options.
They don't. Honestly, if I'm Coach Kirsten, I say trust the offense. I hate to say that. I really hate to say that. With a minute 6 left on the clock, there's not much time left in this game.
Look, Saxons have been beating you up on this drive. They have basically run the ball at will. They have not had, let's see, how many negative plays have they had? They've had 1 negative play on this drive. Now you need to string together 4 consecutive negative plays. You've gotten 1 this whole drive. I think you have to wave the white flag and give the ball back to your offense.
Yeah, but the dangerous part is they had that West Coast style pass coverage was great from Hastings.
Well, here we go. Tosova up under center. Same formation. Wishbone T. Tight end set into the right. Tosova, the snap. Handoff up the middle, touchdown.
See, that was intentional from Williamston.
Yeah.
We know that because if you watch the whole rest of the game, their defensive line always cut block the interior to not allow the fullback dive. And it's been much more difficult for the fullback to get through. He's had to hurdle through the first line and go to the linebackers in the air. That time, Williamston's defenders didn't go down to the ground. They didn't try to cut the offensive linemen. You can tell Coach Kirsten told his guys, let them in.
What a drive for Hastings. What an amazing touchdown drive. That is the kind of stuff you dream about if you're the coach of a team that runs a triple option offense, a veer wishbone offense. That's the stuff you love the most. Going for two. Keeping it himself, toss up throws to the goal line. Got him. Is he in? Yes, he is. 2-point conversion's good. DeAndre Mathis on the reception. And now, crucially, that takes the field goal off. We got an injury timeout. Crucially, that takes the field goal out of the equation for the Hornets. You can't kick a field goal to take the lead anymore. You now need a touchdown. The injured Hornet up on his feet and walking off the field now.
I'm pretty sure the injured Hornets, I believe that's Tommy Pratt. That is a huge loss if that is him. Yeah, he looks to be fine, but he has to sit out for at least this first well, actually, there's a kickoff. So, yeah, he has to sit out for the kickoff.
Yep, he will have to sit out for the kickoff. So here you go. If you're the Hornets, you've got 64 seconds and 2 timeouts. You need to score a touchdown. You've got to have it. No choice.
Yeah, it's a good thing that there is kickoffs here. If Tommy Pratt, which he does, is in on kickoff. Tommy Pratt is in on kickoffs. But if I'm Williamston, I'm going to try to either fair catch it or, I'm really going to not try to waste any time on the kick return. I want it in Nielsen's hands. Try to make the offensive drive. This is what legends are made of. Coming back, minute 4 on the clock, 1 timeout. It's going to be a heck of a 2-minute drill if they pull this off.
Well, you're looking at Williamson's schedule, right? They've got to deal with Mason. They've got Hazlitt, Goodrich, Detroit Country Day, St. John's. There are not easy games on this schedule. You've got to find wins where you can, right? Every game on this schedule is pretty tough. They lost by 7 last week, trailing by 4 here in week 2. If you want to make the playoffs, you have to win some games. And they're going to chip this one short. That's not a great kick, and it's going to bound to the 25. Actually, it turned out to be a great kick. Probably would have gone out of bounds had Stephen Bush not fallen on it, but he also has to fall on it because it's a live ball.
I mean, yeah, but it's so close to the boundary there. I think he could have maybe waited half a second longer to see if it would go out, maybe take a nice bounce for Williamson, either force a re-kick or what? It goes up to the 35? I'm not familiar with the rules that much.
35 in high school, I believe, 40 in the NFL.
Yeah. So, it's a tough call. It's a tough call there. Definitely has to drop on it, but it might have been a little more patient. And it seems like there's confusion from Williamston not knowing what personnel goes out.
Well, here we go. 4 receivers set with a tight end for Nielsen in the gun. 104 at their own 25. Nielsen takes the snap. Hastings rushing 4. Nielsen, quick throw. Right side, got a man. Up to the 32-yard line. Trying to come all the way back across the field down to the 33-yard line, gain of 8. And Williamston, I believe, will call their first timeout. They haven't called it yet. They've not called the first
spike. I saw Nielsen do the spike thing.
2nd and 2, clock moving, 45 seconds. Man, I think I should have taken a timeout there. 4 receiver set, trips to the right. 40 seconds now as Nielsen takes a step. Nielsen throws right side. It's incomplete. Threw it into the Williamston bench, and I think you got to take that timeout there. You got 2 left.
I mean, I don't know if you can, though. You have 1 timeout. It's so hard. I guess you're not saving it for a field goal, but you would rather save it for a giant play where it takes your offensive lineman a long time to lumber back up to the ball.
37 seconds on the clock. 3rd and 2 at the 33. Williamston, they need 67 yards. 4 receivers, trips to the left. Nielsen takes the snap. Under pressure, middle screen, incomplete. 4th down.
Wow. I mean, if you're Williamston, do you run the ball here? Run the ball, use your timeout? Yeah, I mean, I think you have to look to the guy that you've been looking at all game, Joe Smith. It's such a hard decision, though. That would be so gutsy to call a 4th down run play with 33 seconds left in the game, down 4.
4-receiver set for Nielsen. 4th and ball game. Gotta have it. Nielsen takes the snap. Clean pocket. Steps up. Launches deep. Wants Keener. Incomplete. That's your ball game. Hastings going to get out of here with a dub.
No guts, no glory. It's a great thing that Coach Kirsten went for that. If you want to win football games like this in the hardest conference, well, not the hardest, but one of the hardest conferences in the area by far against some of the hardest teams in the area, that's the type of play call you have to go for. You have to respect Williamston for giving their all, putting it all on the line.
Williamston going to drop to 0-2, and it doesn't get easier. They got Mason next Friday. The Hastings offense dictated terms in the 4th quarter, and that was enough. Victory formation for Hastings. They're going to walk out of here with a win. The broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and the Lansing Herald Media Group. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and the Lansing Herald Media Group. Williamston comes up short at home. They dropped to 0-2. They got Mason next week. We're going to have that game, JV and varsity, Williamston-Mason on Lansing TV 12 on Thursday and Friday next week. But for now, Hornets falling short at home, 16-12 to the Hastings Saxons, who came in here, played their version of football, and got out here with a dub. That's all for us. For Tom Lewandowski, for our producer, Glenn Dudasek on the ones and twos, I'm Colton Wesley. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next Thursday with more MHSAA football on Lansing TV 12.